I was in my teenage years, 3.5 years of stuff
Drama.
of drama. At least he was hot and
It
hung.
doesn't, and it's always the hot.
I know, but
But
So
it's
you're
always,
basically telling girls, if he's fine, let him get away with enough until you can't take no more.
like, nah, it was too much. He was horrible. But I was like I wasn't as good as I was now. Like I didn't have the big confidence or the like he basically found a girl who was low in confidence and low in self esteem and took advantage of it for 3.5 years. And then when I hit like 19, I was like, I'm hot. I can do this. Bye. And it
How
was
was his
over.
reaction?
Hmm.
How was his reaction to it?
Um.
to this day, he still trying.
Yeah, he messages me till this day. I just want to be friends. Um. Like I still love you. Da 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 da. No. I had to block him at some point.
No, to me, and that's where I think a lot of girls, or probably because I'm watching so much of the ID channel and so much Snap and Lifetime, like,
Mhm.
because, yeah, when you have history with a person, sometimes they know what to say or what to do to get you to keep going, doing the off and on and stuff. But sometimes you don't even know what that person's going through in their life that they turn around and say, if I can't have you, nobody can.
My little brother.
I don't know if that happens too much to minority women because on Lifetime, majority of the women are not. It's mainly like white women that I see that. So I don't know if they just pick characters that they feel like is gonna fit whatever's gonna work for the viewers and stuff. But I'm like on ID, they don't care what color you are. Them guys are crazy. They take everybody down. So that's why I was like, okay. But I mean,
My little
I
brother.
don't think dealing with a guy that was manipulative. I can honestly say that I've actually gone through that more with girls than guys. Where there was like, how you have that girl that likes your guy or a girl that likes the guy that likes you, but you don't know that, and they'll try to throw you under the bus
God.
for that guy. And I'm like, I didn't even want him. Like I was cool watching Sailor Moon and eating some popcorn, and it's like, and I even knew this one girl that went through this elaborate diabolical plan, and I'm talking about elaborate. She actually had a boyfriend, but then what she did was she later on she found out that the boyfriend had a friend that she said if she would have met from jump, she would have got with.
Mm.
Then she thought, okay, well, you know what? Since you're single, I'll you guys should meet. But I'm like, every time when we hang out, you're always here. What?
You're always here.
You know what I'm saying? But it was her great getaway plan because if her man thinks she's hanging out with me and
Yeah.
we're just so happen to hang out with his best friend, you know what I'm saying? He's not gonna think anything of it. But coming to find out, I'm like, if you wanted to get with him, why didn't you just get with him? Well, no. After she fell flat on her face with it, after the police got involved, and it was like a lot of like that was like a oh my goodness, one of those like super, them African films where they're super dramatic and everything like that. And
Yeah.
that's why I was like, Jesus. That's why I was like, girl, you didn't even have to do all that. All you had to tell me was, look, help me try to get the guy. Then I would have told you, like, you can't, that won't work because you're dating the best friend. So you have to get rid of your dude and see if that guy will even have enough respect to you not to dog you out if you end up with him. But they don't ever plan, got arrested, claimed rape, all types of crazy.
Oh my God! Please don't get me started.
It's not that crazy. It got that damn deep. I'm like, look, every woman would let her have a good man. That's true, but it's not that damn serious to go to jail for it.
Yeah, no.
It's not.
He's not. He's not that good if you go to jail for it. It's
No,
not.
but I even had this one girl, and you know who you are, because I know she's gonna try to send a message. You know who you are in college. Jesus. There was this one girl that I don't know. She had low self-esteem because she was the type of woman that she loved to manipulate her way into guys. Even if the guy wasn't into her or whatever, she'll do whatever she can to kind of like I would say mind fuck him to get what she wants. even though at the end of the day, even if they dog her out, it doesn't matter. In her head, it's like because I slept with them, I get like an extra bonus. I'm like, I don't know anywhere you can slide the whole card somewhere, and I can go to Walmart, buy me like toilet tissues and stuff, and I swipe the whole card and I can walk out with the item. I don't know of any card like that. I don't know where where the statement gets delivered to. I've never heard of that, but that's just how she was. This girl went so far because there was this one guy that really liked me and everything like that, and she went so far as to stalk the guy as me. Because at the time, yeah, because at the time I didn't know how to work online. I didn't know anything about the internet. All I knew was, because the internet started blowing up like late 90s and everything like that. So for me, I'm like, okay, all I know how to do is use word processor to do homework. But, when you go to college, they're like, oh, you need an email so we can send you assignments. I'm like, I'm in the class with you. Give me the homework here. Like, what? Why do you have to email me? I'm looking at you. Like, okay, whatever. So I had asked her to set up the email. Like, I asked her and a few of my girlfriends, like, look, the teacher's really on me. I need it. Not knowing that she set it up, created a Black Planet account, created a Facebook account, used my pictures, and stalked guys as me. So as I'm going to college with these guys that she has crushes on, they're running from me. And I'm like, what the hell? So it's not until the one went to my sister and my girlfriend was like, yo, you need to tell your sister to stop stalking me, leaving me nasty messages, little stuff and like that. Like, I already blocked her, and I'm telling you, I'm not having that. And they're like, what are you talking about? She don't even have an email account. He's like, yes, she does. Because she emails me all the time. They're like, no, she doesn't. We set it up, but we never gave her the passcode. We didn't teach her how to use it. And it's not until I went to her house. See, that's why I said there's a power. Everything happens for a reason. I had to pee so bad, and I was like, damn. Since I gotta pee, as soon as I got off the highway, I'm like, let me swing by her place to drop off her mama's crock pot and use the washroom. In the midst of me going downstairs, she's trying to keep me from going downstairs. Not knowing that, I guess she was on the computer. Well, she was on the computer, but you know how your computer goes on sleep. So I guess her constantly trying to keep me from going downstairs gave it enough time for the computer to go to sleep to make it look like the computer was off. But because you know how back then how they had the little desk on wheels. Yeah. So it was so close to the bathroom, and I'm running, and I knocked the desk over. It woke up the computer, and I'm like, damn, the pen fell and stuff. So I'm putting it back up while I'm trying to pee. I'm like, instant message. Why haven't I met you? What are you on? What? And I'm like, I can't believe that trifling hoe did that. Stalk the guys as me.
Just why?
That's weird.
It's like,
what's the point? Because when, like, say a guy's like, ooh, that girl's hot, what are you gonna do? You can never meet them. You can, like, would you just talk to them through email for the rest of your life? I'm confused.
No, she would always do that. It's not until I was reading one of the messages. It was talking about, I see you in school all the time, and you walk past me like you don't even know me. Because there were times where guys would talk to me. But you know how guys are, they'll always use the, hey, girl, act like they know you to holler at you. I'm like, dude, I'm at school. And not knowing, I'm like, you could have had me set up for a lot of dangerous situations, and you do got some out there. But the first thing that the person said was the worst part of being manipulated in a relationship is that quite often you don't even know that it's happening.
Exactly.
And then they said, a manipulative people twist your thoughts, actions, wants and desires into something that they feel is better suited to benefit them. They're talking about scary, right? And I'm like, yeah. So then number one, they say, I'm gonna say he for the whole day, for the whole situation for this, but everybody, I'm sick and tired of you. Yeah, because I'm going to say he, because it's us girls talking, but just because I say he doesn't mean just he. It's he and she. So he makes you feel guilty for everything. Manipulation always starts with guilt. If you can convince you feel guilty for your actions, even when you've done nothing wrong, then he knows you'll be more willing to do what he says. I mean, sure, guess dinner was okay. It wasn't what I was hoping for. So it's like in their head, it's like they take the way that you feel and try to twist it, and because you care for them and you felt like you did something wrong even though you're confused, they use
Mm-hmm.
it to twist you, and that's one of the ways they can manipulate you.
Pretty
And I
much.
can honestly say I know a lot of girls and guys that are in, like, I'm looking like, you didn't see that twist pool. They're like, no, that is because they love me, and I'm like, it always starts off with something.
I
It
say
always
way
starts off with
too
something.
often.
I can honestly say there were a few times when I saw the red flag, and just like you were saying when he was like, but he was fine. There was a few times I saw red flags. I'm like, well, I mean, when he puts that shirt over that six pack, I'll get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? Because they know what they're doing. It's almost like they get, because they, especially when they're professional at it,
Yes.
to the point where it's like they're 12 steps ahead of you. And it's almost like they can tell when you're about to say, I'm done, I don't want to do this. So it's
Yeah. And they
like
do.
they got a plan set for you. It's like they're diabolical, crazy people.
They are.
He forces his insecurities on you. Manipulators will often force their own insecurities on you in the effort to control how you react towards him. I've seen cheated. So you know how you have some guys use the excuse that oh, because I was cheated on before. It's not that I don't trust you.
Please don't.
It's just that I don't trust them. Or
That
you
was
know,
the
when
number
you
one.
wear those clothes, I know you have a fatty, but when you wear those kind of clothes, it makes me go crazy, and I feel like you're gonna leave me, and it makes you feel like, oh, okay, well.
Yeah, like I said, the reason I joined this panel is because I've literally been through 3.5 years of it. So it got really bad. Like, I don't mind going deep into this, but to the point where he knew the
Oh, I'm
clothes I
sorry.
was wearing.
Do you mind putting the camera up a little bit? Because all I see. Okay.
The clothes I was wearing. He basically sheltered me. I couldn't have guy friends, all this other stuff. Like, I couldn't hang out with certain people. It just got really bad. And then like for the first step, I didn't notice it. Like, my sister, my mom, everybody was telling me, like, look what this dude is doing, and I'm just like, I couldn't see it. I'm just like, what are you talking about? And like, I had friends that are just like, he's a douchebag. Just go. And I'm just like, I'm confused and all this stuff. And yeah, it was just bad. But yeah, the whole change, like what you're wearing, like, oh, I don't like that because I don't want another guy to stare at you, or I'll feel as though I
That
have to,
sounds
like,
so much like my little brother.
it's so bad.
My little brother did the same thing.
But yeah, that explains that, because that, like, if he ever tries to be like, oh, you can hang out, like, I've been cheated on in the past, so I'm hurt, or I'm scared that this will happen if you do this, or if you're near that guy, this will happen because this girl did this to me. It was yeah, just don't do it. If you ever see anything like that, just run away.
But see, for you, what do you think that? Okay, well, the first question I want to ask you is, do you think that it was a great experience that you went through it at a younger age compared to some women that they deal with it when they're much older?
It's like a yes or no, because I kind of like threw away my teen years, because the whole years of like 16, it was 3.5 years, so like 16 to like 18, like going out, partying, getting to know like your close high school friends, all that stuff. I didn't get to do that because I was always with him, and I was always listening to the BS he was saying. I went to prom with him, everything, like that. That's the only thing I really regret. But I'm kind of happy I went through it younger, because now at 21, I know what to look for, and I know the red flags, and I know basically I have more experience at 21 than people, because people don't go through that at 16. People
Yeah.
go through it around this age and up. So I know, like, I've experienced it. I'm happy. Yes, a yes or no. I experienced it early, so now I can actually look for serious relationships earlier, because I know what to deal with, what not to deal with, what red flags. Like, don't go anywhere near this guy at 21 years old. Most people can't say that.
Was there?
So
I mean, hearing your story kind of remind me of like that one guy. The very first serious relationship I had. I think that lasted what 4 years.
he was my first two, by the way. That was
You
the
know
big
what?
manip.
I don't know what is it. I'm telling you, the
It's the
girl
bond. It's the
they.
the virginity bond.
It's almost like when I don't know. It's like something activates in them to go ballistically crazy. I've never known a girl that had a good experience. I've never really known. I've known more girls who had their first experience with that one guy that really put them through a lot. I don't
Yeah.
know if in their head they feel like, oh, just like that one movie had, Why Did I Get Married? Where old girl with Jill Scott was sitting at the table. Well, I was your first, like, as if that's gonna keep a hold on you. Like,
Yeah.
I had the first burrito, but it doesn't make me the creepiest burrito. Like, okay, and type of stuff. I don't know where some people get that from, but that's just, I don't know. The fact that when you think about it, I mean, like when you think about it now, do you ever think to yourself, like, how did I not, like, what do you think your blinders were?
Um, him keeping me sheltered. Like, because eventually, to be honest, my friends got tired of it. My friends, they were tired of seeing me in that situation. Like, they kept saying, Destiny, you have to leave him. Like, he's not good for you at all. And I wasn't listening because I was blinded by him and what he was saying, like, speaking in my ear, all this stuff. So eventually they left, which I can't blame them for. But, I was eventually all I had was him. That was his plan.
And that's
Like
that's their plan.
all I had was him. So then it got to the point where I believed I ain't have anybody else but him. So I was just sticking with him. So that's he sheltered me. That was the main thing that blinded me.
See, the crazy thing for me with my experience was he did try all those tactics, but because in the beginning of stages of growing up, my parents already kept us all sheltered. So I was like, I want to actually have the experience because I saw a lot of being younger. When you see a lot of people in their 20s and 30s trying to relive their teenage years, 40s,
Mm-hmm.
50s, 60s, like, dude, you're 60 years old. If it didn't happen for you then, it's not gonna happen for you now. Just relax. But then, so that seeing people like that was what made me force myself. Like, I want to have those experiences because I don't want to be 30, 40 doing what I should have done
Mm-hmm.
as a kid. But it's like the more he wanted to seclude me, the more we fought. And it got to a point that, how you said it got to a point that your friends got fed up of you being in a situation. They just, he stalked my, he stalked, and I know because he subscribed and I blocked him a few times on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
Stalked my friends to the point that even because I was in high school then, even my parents, if some of my friends didn't leave me because they were actually being stalked by him, the parents were concerned for their kids. So they're like, no. I even had a modeling gig that I got picked up by one of my friends. This dude got in the car, traveled, and followed us like
Oh my
not
god.
hiding in the shadows, blunt, broad daylight. Like, I see you. Like, he even pulled up at the light, and I'm like, what are you doing? You're on a date. No, I told you I'm doing a modeling thing. Followed us all the way 3 cities over to the modeling gig. And I'm like, look, he's not going to be able to even come in there because why would he be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get to the designer's house, trying on clothes, practicing, like, for the show. And who comes
Mm-hmm.
downstairs with a bottle of water? I was like, what the hell? I'm like, it was rough. And the crazy thing about it was it got to a point that I felt like, I really did contemplate about, is it worth doing some time taking him out?
Mm-hmm.
Because he was really rubbing, like, taking, like everywhere I turned. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, you can't stalk me everywhere. Like, just because you stalk me doesn't mean I want to get with you. And the worst part about it is, the dangerous thing about it is, it's like you nip it in the bud, and no matter how disgusting or rude you are to them, to show them that you just are not like that, whatever Houdini tricks they want to use is not going to work. It's almost like sometimes you think they're going to take it. It's like they hibernate like bears. I'm going to take a
Yeah.
break. Maybe I drove her crazy. I'm going to give it 2 months. And then they just pop up on you.
Yes.
That's the point that I had a few. I had several first dates because he actually popped up on dates. I'm like, who? Like, I just had police escort you off the property. Why are you on this date? Like, literally, it's just ridiculous. But girls, and the crazy thing is sometimes it's sad because it's like that's why I always say when you're in relationships, you know, you have some people that says, oh, when it's a relationship, what happens between the two of you guys stays with you guys, which is true. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't talk about your relationship with everybody because sometimes, you know, especially when you're a person that's stuck in that situation, you don't need the I told you so or people throwing stuff back in your face because that makes you want to lean more on the manipulative, wrong person.
Mhm.
And at the same time, it's almost like the person that you're speaking to. You first of all, you have to have somebody to talk to because it, depending on the age. Luckily for you, you were blessed enough that you were, even though you were young, your age didn't put you in a situation where he would turn around and snap or act a fool. Like you had enough time, you know, because like women as young as you, at the age that you were going through at that, a lot of times they just keep rolling with it.
Mhm.
Until they'll find like a Superman, which is the type that's like, dude, I wish you would try to talk to my girl. And so the guy is scared, like, dang, she never had anybody to hold her down and steer,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And that's what it took. It took some guy, you know, a hood. I'm talking about darker than like dark chocolate. I don't know if he was like, dang, he's buff, he bald headed, he looked like he did some time. I'm not gonna her no more. So now he only stalks me via web, but not in person anymore, so that's good. And then again, I live in the States, so that's even better. But my goodness. Number 3, he makes you doubt yourself. Wants to know why is it so easy for him to be manipulative because he minds fucks you to the point that right manipulators take your insecurities and use them against you.
Pretty much.
You know, the crazy thing is like I don't know if it's because I could say more for women. I don't know if it's because of the whole thing that, you know, as girls when you're growing up, you always doubting yourself, and then you got the whole you're not good enough, and then you have the pressures of your friends, you got pressures of school, you have pressures of media, so you're already kind of broken down a little bit. You have days where you feel great, and then you have days that you don't.
Yeah.
So then it's like it doesn't really take much for, you know, a guy to take advantage. And then the same thing for a guy that grows up kind of sheltered or have that like that strict upbringing, and they date that one woman that really turned their life upside down, and you're like, whoa, like, you know. And then the crazy thing is, it's almost like the weird part is when you step away from the whole situation and you look back on it, you think to yourself, who the hell was that? Because that wasn't me. What happened? Like, was I in a coma the whole damn experience? You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much.
But
Every
see,
time I like, why didn't I like smack him at this point? Like, why didn't I leave at this point or curse him out at this point? Like, why did I just sit there? Like, I think about comebacks I should have said to him back then, and I'm just like, what? Why did I deal with this?
no,
And now it's like,
and it's draining. It's emotionally draining. And then they're very good because it's almost like they keep tabs all day long.
mhm,
So it's like you don't even have a time to breathe, a time to think, a time to. It's almost like they feel like, okay, if I take up everything now, there's no time for them to have that moment of, okay, I'm gonna be strong, I'm gonna get rid of you. And it's almost like
exactly.
they do whatever they got to do for that. I remember for 4th of July, I'll never forget it because I don't never celebrate American holidays because my parents are from overseas. So growing up, they're not gonna celebrate that stuff because they don't know what it is. So
Mhm.
they always celebrated their cultural stuff from back where they came from and stuff like that. So for me, I remember the 4th of July, and I felt like, oh my goodness, I felt like a Shaniqua because I was like, because you know the parents and the family members and everybody was so used to seeing me always quiet, you know, and all that type of stuff. But family function on the lawn because his mom hated my guts. Like she was a special female, special. And we ended up having to go out for 4th of July to his mom's house where all his family was there. But the thing I didn't like was she would on purpose always throw shots. Oh, you sure you want to have that extra spoonful of rice?
Oh.
Chick, you put them spoons. I didn't even ask you for that. And it's like, oh, what would you like for dinner? Mashed potatoes? Okay, it'll be black beans. Okay, like that's not what we. And that she was just do stuff to push my buttons. And it's not until I was like, okay, let's stop at this restaurant so I can get my own carry out. Because her rice, I'm like, I've eaten mushy rice. I've eaten rice that wasn't cooked all the way. But what did you do? Just put the rice in water, rinsed it, and just put it on a plate? Like, it was hard as rock. Like, I felt every stabbing of every grain going down my throat. And I'm like, I had it. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing another holiday. And after we already had a long conversation talking about, okay, for the year, it's going to be, since we broke up so many times, I'm like, okay, this year's about me. We're going to do, it can't always be about you and your friends and us hanging out with your family. Like, you are taking me away from my family. I don't have time to do anything with my own damn sisters, and we're under the same roof. So when he was doing all this talk, I'm like, okay, so we're going to spend 2 hours at your family's house so we can go do 4th of July with my sisters and them. So what are you, some shy dyke?
Oh,
I became the poltergeist. My whole head turned around. And I'm contemplating, damn, I just got this egg foo young, and Lord knows I love some egg foo young with this steamed rice, but he's going to have to pay. Because I was like, what do you mean? Because, you know, my English wasn't good then, so I'm like, shy dyke, what is that? And he was like, so what, you're a lesbian? You always want to be up under your sisters all the time? I'm like, dude, you confiscate all of my life. I don't even have time to I don't even know what my sisters are into.
He just, like, accuse you of incest?
Yeah. I'm like, I'm hanging out with my sisters. So I took it for young, slammed it, and the hot rice all over his face. And mind you, we've never been a physical type couple, but that day, I'm like, I just had it. And when he was unbuckling his seatbelt, I'm like, oh shit, this dude is 6'5". He is going to fucking take me down. So I was like, whatever you do not let this dude get out of the car. So when he's getting out of the car, I'm holding on to his shirt. Like, and because it's a stupid sports car, I'm like, damn, Tom, why are we in a stupid sports car in the first place? So as I'm holding on to him, it looks like on camera, because I forgot his mom just installed some surveillance cameras all over the damn property.
Oh, good.
4th of July, everybody's out. His whole family saw everything on the surveillance camera because the surveillance camera was right there by the dinner table.
Oh, good.
So it looked like he was dragging me out of the car to beat me down because I was holding on to him. So by the time he was getting out, because he had all the soy sauce and stuff in his eye, I'm like, okay, finally I got out on the other side. I'm like, don't stay away from me. So I had to grab my mace and mace him down. His dad had to use the water hose to spray his face down and all that. And I'm like, after all this, I can't go back. Because they're like, isn't that, like, together, she maced you, she threw food at you. And the worst thing about dealing with somebody who's manipulative is that they're so good. I'm talking about they're so good to the point that when you react, it almost makes it look like you're crazy. Like, everybody's looking at you like, that person's so nice. That person's this, that person's that. I'm like, behind closed doors, you have no clue who the diabolical person is. They're not who
everybody's like, he's so cute. He's funny. He's such a gentleman to you. I'm like, you don't know. You just really don't know. And like they play the role like outside. So then, like, well, in my situation, he was just an all-around cheater. Like, if you knew how many times that happened, you'd be like, you like, even in this like in this panel, you'd be like, why didn't you leave him after all of this? But he played nice outside, probably to get more girls. Like, he played nice, like a gentleman. Like, he knew what he was doing. He played that, so then other girls will start to be like, oh, he's cute. Oh, like, your boyfriend's so cute. And like they're secretly like, oh, well, I would like something like that. And then he like creeps in on them at some point in time. Like, oh, hey, how are you? Or how have you been, like, on Facebook or something? Like, he was just horrible. He's just...
Well, no, see, I can't... Because I can honestly say I stayed in a relationship for 7 years with this idiot, the same Amistad that I told you that scared the stock away, that looked like he pumped iron. And every time he cheated, I'm looking like, dude. Like, because And guys, listen, because this is going to be the most important advice you will ever hear. Anytime a woman asks you a question, she's waiting for you to answer because she knows the answer. It's just that when
Thank
you pop off, don't act surprised. That's a warning shot when she asks you a question.
you.
You know what I'm saying? And so every time
So
I'm asking a
where
question,
did you go at 5 p.m. yesterday? I was out with my friends, and then just spaz on you. She knows where you was at 5 p.m. yesterday.
let me tell you something. His game was so weak. Phone ring at his house. Cause I'm on the other line with my sister. Cause I would always drive to his house to do laundry, so
Mm-hmm.
we had a laundry room in his house, and take it back to my place. Phone,
Mm-hmm.
my sister called, and I was like, hold on. So when I put her on hold to hurry up and go downstairs to put the clothes in the dryer, come upstairs, the phone hung up. So I'm hearing ring on the other side. Bloop, click over. One of his thoughts. Hello. I'm like, hello. Yes. How can I help you? May I please speak to? I'm gonna call him hoe number two. Can I please speak to hoe number two? And I'm like, he's not available. If you like, would you like to leave a message? Who is this? I'm like, his girlfriend. Who are you? How are you his girlfriend? He just took me and my son out for breakfast. We just went out. He took me to go do a few doctor's appointments and everything like that. And I'm trying to get a hold of him now. He's never mentioned me to you. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, if you like, you know you lost your damn mind. But I'm like, if you like, what is your name? She was like, my name is Erin. Yes, I'm gonna put your name out there, Erin. My name is Erin. And I was like, oh, okay, well, Erin, hold on. Let me go ahead and let me give him a call since you can't find him. And I'm going to find out what's going on, okay? And, I'm going to call up and, get back to you. You keep trying him. I'll try. Whoever gets him first, please let me know so I can stop trying. And she's like, okay. So I hang up. I'm like, this bald-headed, ashy mother call. He picks up the phone, and he's obviously in the background because he's supposed to be hanging out with his kids, but no, you're not. You're hanging out with Aaron. Ha, 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 yeah, gee, okay. Get on the phone. Hey, baby. I'm like, yeah, Aaron. Huh? I'm like, yeah, Aaron just called. She said you took her and the baby boy for a doctor's appointment. Yeah, why you got her stranded out there like that? You need to hurry and go get her. It's cold outside and everything. Hurry up. She's been calling you up. Call her. Let her know that I reached you, but I'm about to call her back to let her know I got a hold of you. So I'm like, what, 10, 15, 20 minutes? He was like, yeah. Didn't even let him explain. Went ahead, call her back. She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, no, he's on his way. I don't know why he didn't pick up for you, but he's on his way. Don't worry, just stay in the lobby. Just he'll honk and everything. She's like, oh okay. You know that idiot sat parked in the car in the front of the house for 6 hours and went dozed off, and when I'm knocked, he jumped. After that experience, well, after a few experiences, I can honestly say it was out of pure laziness. Because in my head, I felt like, okay, if I go out there and go back out there to date, it's gonna be a hassle because now I gotta learn a new name. Then I gotta learn their likes and dislikes. Then I have to see if we're compatible. Then if it don't work out, I gotta go right back to starting the whole crap again. At least with this idiot, I know what the hell's going on. But it got to a point that it's like, okay, now how many times do you have to keep constantly pulling the peekaboo chick where you peekaboo, dude, I caught you. Like, how many times you gotta do that? So that's why I was like, it's too much of a headache. I gotta cut that idiot and let him go, and that's what I eventually did. But I don't know. That was a special experience, especially with Miss Aaron trying to throw me under the bus. Don't worry, I sent him to come pick her up and her kid. Then she had a audacity to call for a ride for work. I'm like, and then he tried to hurry up run because you know how you had those old back in the day voice mailbox
The voice boxes.
yeah, answering machine. It's your phone, your landline. So you know that was back in the day because people don't have landlines anymore. And you know how when they're leaving a message, play back while they're leaving it? And I'm like, you don't know her schedule? Go pick her up at work. Like, what you on? What you doing? I'm like, you dropped her off and didn't pick up earlier today. Now you forgot her. Oh, no, she's just a friend. I'm like, yeah, she's just a friend. Number 4. They make you responsible for their emotions. Manipulators are ironic in the sense that they spend quite a bit of time making you feel as if you can't think for yourself, but then they turn around and make you responsible for their emotional breakdowns, which is true. Like, you know, when they start doing the seclusion and everything like that, and just like I was saying, they'll monitor you all damn day because it's like they feel like if there's one moment of clarity, she's going to leave me. So I can't let her
Mm.
leave me. So I'm gonna keep stalking her, blowing her up. Well, why didn't you pick up when I called? Why didn't you text me? Or you said you were hanging out. And then the worst part now with social media, even if you upload or you make a comment, oh, today was a sunny day, and it shows that you were hanging out at Chuck E. Cheese's. Today's a sunny day. He'll call
Uh-huh.
on your Facebook. It says you was at Chuck E. Cheese's. I thought you said you were gonna hang out with your sister. Yeah, I was hanging out with my sister. She just haven't wanted to go to Chuck E. Cheese's. Oh, and you didn't think to call me, or was that always your plan? Like, crap.
It's horrible.
I don't know. But then I can say for that making the emotional madness, I can say a lot of girls are good at that. I can say a lot of girls are good at that because I've known a few girls that pull that on guys, and it works. Especially for the ones. It's almost like, you know what, you were right when what you said in the beginning. It's like they know. It's like they're predators. They know when they're going to choose their victim. They know how to choose them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Number 5, which is the last one, it says he makes you believe that you want what he wants. So it says we all start out relationships requirements with deal breakers, but it's natural. As you start to blend two lives that compromise are made, what not's normal when you have a set aside what you want to and need and that affects and appease your partner. If you start to realize that your partner needs are being met more often than yours, then you are dating a manipulator, which is true. But
Yep.
I don't know. Like, after all of this, all I can say is that you have to, in a situation like this, the best way to save yourself is anytime you see the red flags, you gotta question them. Every time you don't feel comfortable about something, and ladies, don't do that whole, ladies and gentlemen, because I always do find guys and girls, by the time they actually start questioning, it's so late in the game that they're looking at you like, why are you acting brand new about the program? You know this is how we always roll, type of thing. If you're not comfortable about something, don't wait 3 weeks to snap about it wasn't enough jelly in the jar, when in all actuality, you're not arguing about jelly. You're arguing about what he did to you 3 weeks ago, what she did to you,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, you have to say something then and there, or else they're just gonna find some way of getting out of it, or be like, "Well, what are you talking about? Like, when did this even happen?" And they're gonna act like they don't know what you're talking about. They're gonna act confused if you don't confront them then and there.
And then in a situation like that, I would say to keep yourself dealing with somebody who's manipulative, you have to really honestly love and know yourself well. Because that, when it comes to people who really love and appreciate themselves and know themselves well enough, no matter, I mean, you're going to get fooled because a con artist is a con artist for a reason. They're that damn good. But and
Yeah.
be able to save time compared to spending such a long time with that person, which is like, it's time that you're not going to even get back. But see, luckily for you, because I've known a lot of girlfriends. Like, I knew this one girl that me and her stopped being friends in high school because her dude was like, to everybody else, because he was like the college jock. He was like, dark chocolate, fine, sexy, and all that stuff. So all the girls wanted him, and he would always use all these little tactics from the 5 list. But then the thing that I felt like, okay, you need to leave him alone, was when he was like beating the brakes off of her. To the point that not only was he beating the brakes off of her in private, he would do it in school. And the principal, everybody was turning an eye on it because he was like one of the star players. So it's like, oh, he's one of the star players. Well, what did you do? How did you
See, I would have been the girl in high school that got beat up by him. Because if I would have, I don't care who you are. I was the weirdo in school. I was like, not the nerd, but the colored hair, the listen to rock music, baggy pants, tight shirt, like that type of girl, piercings. So if I would have, I don't care about the jocks or any. If I would have saw that, I would have been like, "Excuse me, what did you just do? I don't care who you are," and we would have been fighting, and I would have got my behind kicked by him too because I can't see stuff like that. Like, I'm not gonna watch you put your hands on someone and then be like, "Oh well, he's the jock. I'm pretty sure it's not that bad." No, that's horrible.
No, but see, that's why I say you have to, like, when you're in a situation like that, because, yeah, it's true, not everybody, because we already agree that seclusion is one of the best ways they use, other than the fact that the 5 list is basically how they manipulate you mentally, how they break you down and, like, take you over, and just like you were saying, secluding and everything like that. But it's almost like you gotta find somebody that you can trust. Because I've known a few girls that were in some situations where they were going through manipulation that was even violent, where the girl was like, they're looking more of the value of the guy, like, well, he's part of the football team, or he got a good job, or, like, you can hold on, you can tough it out. And it's like, no, do you not see that black guy? Cover girl can't cover that. Like, come on, it's not. Like, what are you doing? No,
That's
that's
not
like, it's like so dangerous. Because I even knew this one girl that her friends were encouraging her. Because wouldn't it be cute to have babies? I'm like, girl, you're only 15. You wait till your 30s to give it up to kids. Like, yeah, take kids, squander the rest of my remaining life. Type of stuff, but not like, I don't know. And then the worst part is she got knocked up, but them same friends that encouraged her, they don't have kids. So it's almost like I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a part 2 of this where I got to do a video talking about how in situations how not to allow yourself to be manipulated. And I'm not talking about just in any kind of relationship, but you show off and you give up that vibe and let people take advantage. Because see, lucky for you, even though you went through that experience, the best thing was you grown out of it. Because the one thing I was going to ask you was, do you think you were better for it, gone through it? But from what you were saying throughout the whole conversation, I could tell that that was an experience that you definitely learned, and you were like, okay, this is something I'm never going to do again, and type of stuff like that.
exactly.
Now that you find yourself knowing the signs and being able to see that type of stuff, do you see yourself in a situation where when you see other people going through it, that when you try to tell them, they react the same way that you did when you were like, no, I didn't.
Yes. Like when I see like friends who are arguing with their boyfriends now, and I'm like, I've been through this. I'm telling you, if he's doing this, it's because of this, this, and this. And they say the same thing that I say, and I was like, I can't even be mad at you because I was saying the same thing to my friends and my family. I know exactly what's going through your head right now because I was saying it myself. But I still try to help. But my thing is, the main thing I needed back then was my friends to stay no matter what. So I don't do that to my friends now. Like how I kept saying like, oh, like it'll be like I kept denying it. So they left. I'm not gonna do that to anybody who's going through that now. Like if I see it, I'll keep trying. I'm not gonna be like, well, she's just gonna keep being manipulated and just leave. Cause the main thing I think I needed back then was my friends, and I didn't have it. So
see, the crazy thing is that in a situation like that where you're dealing with somebody, that is, I don't know, manipulative is the perfect word for this, because it's like, even in a situation how I was telling you that I was fighting, like, dude, I'm gonna have my own life. I still want to have my friends and stuff. It got to the point like, okay, she's being defiant. Stalking them, sending them threatening texts and all that. And, when you're a little girl, you're like 15, 16, and you got a grown person coming at you. I mean, no, when I was dating him, started dating him, my birthday, I was 17. But me and him didn't become boyfriend and girlfriend until a week after I turned 18. But it got to a point that they're looking like, girl, I'm not going to fight no grown-ass man that finished college. Right. And I'm looking like, it was just ridiculous. But now that I think back on it, there were times I felt like I was such a idiot. Like, why the hell did I even waste my damn time? But then it's not until, like, going through all these different relationships, as he stalked me through all them different relationships, I come to realize that, you know what, thank God, like every single serious situation I could ever be put in, instead of me going through it with so many different people, like, you know how you'll go on a relationship, you'll date and all that stuff, I I was able to get everything I needed to learn 101 to
In
then
one relationship.
I even got a diploma off of it with that one relationship.
Yes.
Goodness for that. And then the sad part to me is that when I see it and I talk to other people, I'm not like you, or you don't understand. I'm like, you have no idea. I don't have to rock a black eye to tell you. Well, luckily, I'm not the type that allow people to hit me. I'm saying because I
Yeah.
don't play them type of games. You getting pepper spray, you getting tasered, and I'm calling the cops, and I will be pressing charges. I'm taking it to the full extent of the law. Where you got some girls,
Mhm.
oh, he didn't mean it. I'm like, I don't like to be hit. So I'm calling the police.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't mean it. I'm like, girl, you hold your eye socket up. Like, it's just so I don't know. It's just one of those dangerous things. And if you happen to be a person who's in a manipulative situation, I'm telling you, do not surround yourself with yes people that tell you what you need to hear, because that's the last thing you.
Yeah. Like
And,
that too. I'm not gonna lie. People say like, oh, I hate it when people like change into like douchebags after they've been in a relationship like that. I'm a douchebag, but I'm not the type that'll like, really, Sam? Um, I'm not the type that'll be like, oh, I'm just gonna be like mean and untrustworthy of every guy that I date from now on. No, every guy I date gets a fresh start,
yeah,
but I'm more blunt. I'm more forward. I'm more confident in what I say. I'm more like, I if you can't do this, or if you try to do this to me, you're done. Like I kind of cut people off like right then and there. Like if they show any red flags. Like I guess you could say I do that, but I like that I've become more blunt, and I help my friend. Like a lot of my friends like me for that because they're like, you're the friend that will tell me this dress is ugly. Like you're the friend that will tell me like this dude is being a douchebag. He needs to go. Like you're the person I can go to for that because I know you'll tell the truth.
which
And
is
I like that.
which is because like I'm sure since since we both went through that experience, because the
Mm.
thing that's weird is that you'll find people who become stronger from it, but then you also find the ones that still remain victimized. It's like
Yeah.
they're going through the same situation, sometimes even worse, different faces, different names.
Mm.
So I was like, I don't know how you got off of dealing with Ike Turner and you turn around want to get it with Debo getting knocked the hell around.
Yeah.
I don't get that, but of course we're gonna say that for another show. But thank you all of you guys for tuning in. For if these people, if the person you're dating does these 5 manipulative things, you know you're dating a manipulator. You'll find all the list and everything in the description box down below, all my links and all that stuff. And so, Mrs. Destiny, how did you think about today's show?
I love it. So, like every time you are announcing that you're gonna come out, so I'm like, I need to be in it or I need to watch it because it's always like awesome. So,
Well, no, now that I know you definitely talk. When I do the Asian panel, well, the one-on-ones with the guys, like with Theo, Alan, Brian. I'm trying to do my Brian.
Brian.
And Melodic Mike, thick juicy thighs and booty stuff. So I'm definitely gonna make sure that you're on that panel. And
Oh my.
Okay.
like Ebony and Tommy and all of them that be on those panels and stuff like that. And when I do the all panel with all of them guys and everything like that. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you guys next week, Sunday at 4 o'clock.
Okay.